Do you like a spot of tea?
No thanks, just blood for me. Alright. Hello, welcome to Visual Recreation, the essential video guide to winning FML each and every week. I'm your local geriatric striker, Drew.
And I'm Joey, the strategy guy, and you know what? We have a full slate of movies this week, so let's just get started by talking about the new movies.
And the first new movie we're looking at is Ad Astra. Now, Brad Pitt's an astronaut, and he goes in search of his long-lost daddy, and he goes to the outer edge of the cosmos to unravel a mystery that puts harm to our planet.
Yes, now this movie stars Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, and Liv Tyler, and it was written and directed by James Gray, who wrote such movies like The Lost City of Zed and We Own the Night.
That's right. Now, let's look at the next new movie, and that's Downton Abbey, or Downtown Abbey, if you're in the US. The Crawleys are expecting a visit from the King and Queen of England, and when they're getting prepared for it, what unveils itself is scandals, romance, and intrigue.
Ooh, interesting. Now, this movie is based off of the well-renowned British television show of the same name. It ran from September 2010 to Christmas Day of 2015.
Oi, Merry Christmas there, Governor. Now, this movie was written by Julian Fellows, who wrote and directed and helped create the masterpiece that is now known as Downton Abbey.
And now, we've saved the best for last.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, did I say the best? I meant we saved the blood for last. We're talking about RAMBO Last Blood.
Oh boy, that's my movie, yeah. RAMBO, Adrian.
You okay? Now, after 4 decades from when he drew first blood, Rambo is back for his final mission.
That's right. Now, this movie stars Sly Stallone. Yeah. Right, who else do you need to see in a Rambo movie? I just gotta blow things up. You know what I mean? Adrian!
All right, you got a point if they understood what you were saying. Now, this was directed by Adrian Grumberg. Yeah, Adrian Grumberg.
Adrian!
He directed Gringo and Man Under Fire.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Sly also helped write this movie, so there's that.
Oh yeah, of course I wrote this movie. I'm smart. I'm a smart man.
You're a smart guy?
I'm smart, yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah. You know who else is smart? Adrian.
Yeah, well now...
I wrote Rocky.
Now it's time for the crunch.
According to Box Office Mojo, Ad Astra is opening up to 3,400 theaters, and Pro Box Office has a long-range forecast of $18 million, which it stayed the same from last week, and its long-range opening weekend range is between $16 to $21 million.
Yes, now this movie is rated PG-13, and it has a little over 2-hour runtime. Now, Rotten Tomato currently has it at an 85%. And one thing about this movie is it's probably going to have all those IMAX screens.
That's always a good thing to know.
That is a good thing, yep.
That's right. Now, when looking at comps, we looked at Interstellar, which premiered November of 2014 in over 3,500 theaters, and it opened to a mass total opening score of money of $47.5 million.
Yeah, that's a big money comp right there.
That is a big money comp.
Yeah, now the flip side of that, we took a look at First Man, which came out October of 2018 in over 3,600 theaters, but get this, it opened with only $16 million.
That is crazy. You always have to remember last year, it opened around the same time as A Star is Born, Venom, Goosebumps, so there was a lot of highly anticipated and awaited movies around it. So I don't know if that's going to play as much this time around, but now let's go on to Downtown Abbey. So according to Box Office Mojo, Downtown Abbey is opening up in 3,050 theaters. Pro Box Office has it at a long-range forecast of $22.5 million, which is a 22% increase from last week. And its opening range is between $16 to $21 million. It's already blowing past its opening long-range range.
Yeah, and that sounds pretty good. I mean, it's a PG movie. Runtime is 90 minutes. It's got a 78% right now on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's got that working for you.
I will say that 90 minutes runtime surprised me.
Yeah.
It surprised me for a movie like this.
Yeah, now comps for this movie.
It's hard to come by a comp because this is a very niche type of movie. English movies don't really do well over here in America and in Fantasy Movie League, but this was a very, very popular show that ran in all over the countries. It's also a show that wrapped in 2015, so it's been 4 years since an episode has been shown of this movie at all. So I don't know how well the audiences are going to be running to the movie theater to see this. So to me, it's hard to comp. It's hard to see where this one could go. Is it positive that the long-range forecast is going up? But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and talking about years between movies or shows or whatever, let's look at RAMBO Last Blood.
Oh, yeah, Rambo.
Yeah. Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's so good.
Now, according to Box Office Mojo, RAMBO Last Blood is opening up to an estimated 3,300 theaters. Pro Box Office has the long-range forecast around 22 million, which is the same as last week. And the opening weekend range of this movie is from 20 million to 25 million.
That's right. This one's rated R for Rambo, and it's 89-minute runtime. I love when movies are like 89 and 90 minutes. It's such a nice, quick movie, and you know there's going to be a lot of blood in this one. At least the last
the last bit of blood. Yeah. Now, taking a look at some comps, we looked at Terminator Genesis, mainly because this is a well-known franchise that has a lot of sequels in it, and Arnold and Sly, they working in the same genre of movies, sort of. So, Terminator Genesis premiered July of 2015 in over 3,700 theaters with an opening total of 27 million.
Ooh, that does not bode well for that one. But let's take a look at Expendables 3. That is a Sly Stallone starring movie franchise, and it's the later one in the franchise. It premiered August, yes, another summer comp of 2014, and it opened in 3,200 theaters with about $16 million opening weekend.
Yeah.
Again, yeesh.
Yes, and you may be asking, well, why don't you guys just look at Rambo movies?
Yeah, you look at Rambo movies.
Well, we did, and we took a look at Rambo 4, which opened January of 2008.
Oh boy, that's 11 years ago. I was such a younger man then.
You were, yeah.
I was such a younger man.
Yeah, and it opened in 2,700 theaters and only made $18 million.
That's a better PTA than, say, Expendables 3 and Terminator because they had so many more theaters. However, that was 11 years ago, like we said, so it's tough to gauge where this movie is going to be. Yeah. But we don't have to gauge it here. Let's gauge it on our movie radar.
Movie radar.
I have to say, I think Ad Astra has the most potential to blow up in its Pro Box Office long-range forecast. I think it could definitely make more than $18 million. I think it'll perform better than First Man. It was a little bit more biographical. There was a lot more competition surrounding it. Also, Brad Pitt was just in a movie not too long ago that was highly reviewed and well received, and I think people were like, oh yeah, I remember Brad Pitt. He can act. Yeah, he's actually a decent actor. Yeah. Granted, he does not have Leo by his side on this one, but I think it could do well. Okay. The one thing is about Downtown Abbey, like I already said, I think it's a wild card. It's tough to gauge where this movie could go, how this movie can do in the US on Fantasy Movie League. And Rambo, I'm not the most confident in it. I think it could definitely make some money. I think it could make 20, but I think 20 is basically where it's gonna stop. I think maybe 22 is really pushing it, and I think I'm more comfortable putting it in the high teens. 18 to 20 million range. But that's my thoughts on the movie radar. What you saying, Joey?
All right, well, I'm going to surprise you here because I'm going to take a look at Downtown Abbey. I mean, after 6 seasons, it was one of the top PBS dramas of all time. I mean, it had an average of 13.3 million viewers in season 4. So, I mean, it's got some popularity, it's got some audience behind it.
Do you know what PBS stands for? Pretty boring show.
It had an average of 13.3 million viewers in season 4. So, I mean, it's got some popularity behind it. It has an audience. Now, looking at the theater count, it has a healthy theater count, 3,000 plus theaters. And it's already increasing 22%, we talked about earlier. So it's going up. It's got a 78% Rotten Tomatoes. So it's got some good things working for it. Thoughts on Ad Astra? It looks like a pretty cool space movie. Don't know how well it's going to do. I don't think it's going to put up Interstellar numbers though. So there's that. And then Rambo Last Blood. It is the last movie, so it could do a little bit more. I see you thinking.
50 million confirmed. That's what you're saying, Joey. Rocky still got it.
Yeah. I don't think you're going that high, Rocky.
Now let's go on to our FML shout out.
All right, and for the FML shout out, you know what? After talking about all of these movies each and every week, you know what? I get a little hungry.
Me too, and especially when putting in the crunch segment, I always get hungry after every show.
Absolutely, and I'm in search of that nice, perfect recipe to go along with a movie that I want to see. But I don't have to look any farther than the FML chatter, because the not-so-secret recipe posted by @SeeSomething is up there. And you know what it's all about? It's all about a recipe that's inspired by a movie each week. And last week, he posted a dish inspired by Hustlers. It's a stuffed pepper. You know what? I'm in love with the pepper.
She broiling, she going, she stuffing. Give me that pepper with stuffing. I'm in love with the pepper.
That's good. That was good. Yeah, the not-so-secret recipe, a movie-inspired dish for you to enjoy. And this one was about stuffed peppers. He's got the recipe there. I mean, he's got exactly how to cook it and everything. So check him out.
You can't go wrong with it. And let me tell you, Joey, you did something because you saw something and you said something.
That's right. But that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, leave us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys what you guys think. And remember, as always, sometimes you gotta risk it to get that biscuit.
I hope you knock out that fancy movie. You know what I mean?
Bye. See you later, Rocky. We're done. We're done. Go.
I gotta go film Rocky.
Yeah, go.
Bell peppers. I'm hungry.